Welcome back to the podcast. This is Mostly Superheroes weekly indie talk show in St. Louis, Missouri, right here after Thunderbolts with an asterisk. We finally know why. We can't wait to tell you what that meant, and we're not going to just spoil it right out of the gate, even though Marvel has no problem doing that.
No issues.
Scotty Scoop, welcome back. Hit that
What's
button.
up?
Giggler.
Yeah, that's the right button. The pink one?
And why it's still clapping. Andy, how are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
great.
hit it again. Don't hit it again. Great.
I had to.
And Lyla Scoop.
Boom.
Hi.
15-year-old Lyla. Hi, Lyla.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Yippee.
Oh, my gosh. This is what happens whenever, Scotty, you brought your daughter. You guys are seeing Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
The Final Reckoning.
Yep.
A screening with Allied Global Marketing, seeing it, 2 weeks early?
Yeah.
This is huge.
They're really gearing up for a big...
In the IMAX.
In the IMAX. And we had a cancellation on a guest, and we'll get him back in here later, so we'll just tease that for now. Lyla, you were happy to step in, and you have seen Thunderbolts.
Yes.
And you'll have a take on it. Perfect, because that is why we're here today, and we want to shout out some fans. Thank you for coming out to the Screen and Social on Saturday, May 10th. We were there in the Alamo lobby in the St. Louis City Foundry. Really fun. Had a ton of our official posters here from Sean over at Allied Global. They're always helping us out. And, we're in the big show, and I was really happy. We almost filled that thing up. It was a ton of folks that came out, won a lot of great prizes from people all over town. And definitely want to shout out Fernanda, Jose, Edmund. We also had Charlie came by. Mikey came by. A lot of people that won prizes to St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, the Fox, City Winery, St. Louis. Like, we're plugged right into the local scene here. So if you live here around town, if you are coming to visit town, always go to mostlysuperheroes.com to check out the events and the prizes that we're giving up for grabs. Today is about Thunderbolts. Before we get into the story, let's go ahead and get the budget and box office numbers for Thunderbolts. A budget of $180 million, excluding $100 million in marketing costs. That is according to Dexerto MSN. We also have the Rotten Tomatoes and some reviews for you. The critic score for Rotten Tomatoes currently sitting at 88% with an audience score of 94%. Going really strong. Some critic praise coming from Amanda Mazzillo from FilmJoy. Thunderbolts is the best Marvel movie in years, hearkening back to the hopeful, emotional stories that made us fall in love with our favorite Marvel characters on the big screen. The box office for the film, so far, $272 million globally. That's $128 million domestically and $143 million internationally. The movie came out on May 2nd. This episode is dropping just a couple weeks after that, so the numbers are growing. But can it make the $400 to $500 million that it needs just to break even? I think that's to be determined. Either way, despite the box office, despite the worrisome turnout to the theaters, the critic scores and our take here on the podcast is that this movie's good. So this is just one of those lessons that you just can't base it off of the turnout, and you can't rely on, did Marvel fans go out and see this on opening weekend? That doesn't necessarily determine if it's a good movie or not. I think that's very much true for Thunderbolts. Spoiler alert. Andy, hit some button. Thunderbolts. This is it, man. Your spoiler alert for the film. Bucky Barnes is back. We got a new Black Widow. She's in full swing. Florence Pugh's here. We got the Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, John Walker, Valentina, Allegra, Dave Fontaine.
Duh.
Don't forget the duh. And I'm just going to get Ghost. And
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster.
Kind of.
Taskmaster for a minute.
For 2 seconds.
Longer
than John Walker was Captain America, just about.
I mean, let's just do that first before we just really talk about how we feel about the movie. Like, it was a long time coming of, like, what was this going to be? A Suicide Squad type film. DC's Suicide Squad. This was going to be like Marvel's, and that was kind of in my head a lot. I was like, how are they going to approach having all of these heroes that maybe are doing something against their will in a Suicide Squad fashion? And I was really pleased to see them flip the script on it a little bit. What they did in this movie was they are a Suicide Squad, but they drop you in at the suicide part. Like they're dropping you in at the time where this team has done everything that they've ever needed to do. They've been a cleanup crew for Valentina, Julia Louis Dreyfus. I looked up how to make sure I said her name.
Nice.
Yes, thank you, Scotty. And they're working for her, but this is like the end of the road, right? She's like, I'm done with Black Widow. I'm done with U.S. Agent. I'm done with Taskmaster. Gets them all to meet up in a furnace of sorts. And this is where we meet Bob. But that was kind of the grand entrance. I loved the cold open with Florence Pugh jumping off that building, the sky rise. Scotty talked to us about the first 20 minutes of this film. How were you feeling on the newest Marvel flick?
I was in right away. I'm totally buying in. If you're a comic book reader, not really a traditional Thunderbolts team.
Right.
The Thunderbolts traditionally are usually mostly criminals. So all of these, well, not all of them, most of them being in this kind of gray area and not really apprehended criminals. They were already doing like government work,
like contract work.
You know, most of the time they run the Thunderbolts out of the raft, which is where they put, you know, Red Hulk and all these other, you know, high profile criminals.
Yeah, and we've seen the raft in the MCU a few times, and it didn't play a part in this movie at all. It's like these are active agents working for Val, and Bucky is in the movie as a senator, which we learned in Captain America.
Congressman.
Oh, thank you. I kept saying senator. It just feels like they should have done senator there.
Yeah, Senator Barnes sounds way better. I agree.
Like congressman?
Well, I mean,
what does that even mean, Lyla? Do you even know what difference in school? Hold on, in school, congressman, senator. Do you know the difference?
No.
All right, Scotty, go.
Congressman serves in the House of Representatives.
Thank you for the reminder.
For 2 years.
For Lyla.
A senator serves in the Senate for 6 years.
And that was for Andy. You got an Andy?
Yes.
Every state has 2 senators.
That's right.
And then every state is allotted an amount of congressmen based on population.
That's why it's mostly superheroes. You come for the superheroes, you stay for a little bit of reminders about law.
How the government works.
Government and law. Okay, so he's just kind of like on the scent of Val's workings, which, like, what has Val been doing?
There's an impeachment trial.
There's an impeachment trial. This is where they drop us in of her talking to the Congress, the Senate. I don't know, like some kind of, you know, court.
Yeah, I don't know if she's like the director of national security or something.
It was
CIA director.
Yeah,
CIA director, and she was overseeing a group called Oxcorp. And then it was like, hey, I'm not actually working with them anymore. I just provide strategic leadership.
Yeah.
Sounds way too much like Oscorp. Got really excited for a second.
That would have been, it may have been, who knows, in the original cut.
Could have been.
So Bucky's like trying to work the case. He's trying to just be a congressman, but, you know, it's kind of like he finds the assistant of Val and he's trying to work her. And the story is good, you know. It's just kind of like about the Thunderbolts being at the end of their road and escaping that fiery pit of death, and that's where we met Bob. This is where we get all the characters. This is where you get to catch up with all the characters. They get out of this situation pretty quickly, and then it's not long before Bucky and the Red Guardian find the group, and you know, they made friends with Bob in that thing, but now Bob is in the hands of Val, and apparently he was the, you know, really. They have come a long way in the super soldier serum project.
That's what it seems like.
Like, I mean, it was like, man, can we recreate Captain America? That was
not even Captain America.
That was
can
like,
we go further?
Can we? And it was like, you know, oh no, we can't. You'll become the Hulk. There's so many issues with like super soldier serum, but I'll tell you this, they figured it out.
Yep.
Like they figured it out. Like this guy is Superman. Like he can fly. He's got like telepathic abilities, and then
invulnerable.
And then the psychic part where like, he gets like into your darkest moment, that seemed to be like he'd find the darkest moment for you personally. He'd like show you it, and like that's ended up being the darkness that like kind of he ends up fighting is the ultimate, the void. Yeah, like weird use of the word the void with like Deadpool and Wolverine and Loki. You think it's on purpose? What do you think, Giggler?
No, I don't think so. I think that's just
coincidence
timing. Like Yelena in the first minute of the movie says like there's something wrong with me. And she mentions something about a void, that she feels a void inside of herself. So, I don't think it has anything to do with
the.
I think we're gonna see that place again.
Yes,
but
it was not about
for a while, right? Yeah.
I mean, the villain in the comics is literally called the Void.
And like, is he born out of the Sentry.
Yes.
Just like in the movie.
Yes.
So that's kind of it, right? As the Sentry, he can kind of be this good guy, this golden boy, but like there's this dark side to it that comes out called the Void that obviously will like kill everybody and suck everything in if you give it the chance.
That's a metaphor right there for sure.
We're about like through the movie now, approaching the end. Where are you at with the film halfway through, Giggler, on your first watch?
I absolutely loved it both times.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, just seeing these characters team up in the way that they did, like you said, it kind of they flipped the script. But it was good from the start. Honestly, this movie held true the whole time. Like, it was hilarious, but also very serious. I think this is like a definitely like a, I don't know, like a sweet spot that Marvel needs to hit with in future movies as well.
Well, and let's talk about how it peaks here at the end. The Thunderbolts go into the darkness willingly as a team. They convince Bob to fight his inner demon, and it's like this dark scene where he's kind of given in to what the darkness wants him to do. But then like all of them come together and say like, you don't have to do it. It's actually like stepping away from it, taking the deep breath. And I mean, how did they end up like destroying it in the end? Actually, it was,
well, he's not really destroyed.
It's not destroyed. He just
let him out.
He kind of let him out, and then he calmed down. And it was kind of like what he described as his episodes in the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I have these highs, I had these lows, and then I black out. That's exactly what happened here. He had this like kind of huge episode where his personality was divided a little bit, and he calmed down enough to get it back, but he doesn't even remember any of it. And like that's like his episode. It's kind of like almost like a Moon Knight situation where
for sure,
you're just gone.
Like it's two legit different personalities that take over the body.
Yeah. And I mean, front and center was mental health on this, depression, anxiety, loneliness, your darkest days. I don't know if that was always going to be a part of it. I guarantee you this was one of those rewrite situations, but they timed it well with mental health advocacy and obviously like all the stuff that we do with Team Jakey and stuff. Like we love when that's front and center. And honestly, all right, so like that's the movie, and then we'll get to our final takes here because I'm getting to my big final take on this movie. There were two in credit scenes. But, like, the movie ends with the New Avengers.
New Avengers, yeah.
This is it. She's got a press team waiting for her.
She's trying to spin this to get out of trouble.
This is
obviously.
And this is kind of like a dialogue throughout the movie, right? Like, these are all, like, freelance mercenaries. And, like, Red Guardian's like, this is the makings of a team. Like, he gives these speeches, and you're like, he's not wrong,
right.
Like you guys are pretty close, and you got like some good powers, and
not really a very diverse team.
It's more like
it's mostly
super soldiers.
3
super soldiers, at least.
But we all punch and shoot.
We all punch and shoot. But I mean, if you can get Sentry working, you're
for sure.
You got like the Justice League.
We'll see.
And that's how it ends. It's like, oh, okay, all right, we'll see what happens. In credit scene number 1. What was it?
Red Guardian in the grocery store trying to sell Wheaties boxes with the team on it.
And like maybe flirting with a lady. I don't know.
I'm trying his best.
And he's like, it's me. That was
it. It is me.
That was it.
This is what I talk about.
Andy.
I think a little piece of that was just to show us that like Bob's not part of the team right now because he wasn't on the box.
He's not on the box. And it shows
off to the side in the next credit scene. Obviously, we'll get there, but
it shows that they're like definitely the New Avengers.
Yeah, they're definitely a team.
Like, and they're on the Wheaties box.
Yeah,
just like he
promotional material. Happening.
Yeah, it's happening. All right, second end credit scene. Go ahead, Andy. Let her rip.
14 months later.
14 months later.
Quite a time jump.
Why 14 months? I don't know.
They're in the Watchtower.
We'll find out.
The new, the old Avengers place, and there's an alarm goes off.
John Walker has a new hat, but the same shield.
the same
bent shield.
I think that's also to show that Bob is still Bob. Like he can't break that baby back open yet. Because
I mean, you could get a new shield.
But yes, I agree.
Wakanda's open.
It wasn't even vibranium. Anyways,
yeah, for sure. Because we saw Sentry bend the shield, and we also saw the Sentry not be able to damage Bucky's arm.
Yeah.
To the point where he had to pull it off.
He pulled it off and hit him with it.
Yeah.
He could do that, but
okay. Good
in vibranium, I mean, it's vibranium. Like,
yeah.
You got to really be strong to bend that.
Sure.
Like, it took Thanos like a lot to bust up Captain America's shield.
Red Hulk broke it, right?
Yeah. Like how?
I mean, he's the Hulk.
I don't know. Bucky here.
All right. Hey, we haven't even finished our thought on this end credit scene.
Yeah.
Bucky, the alarm goes off.
Bucky looking.
Oh, Bucky's hair.
Sexy as hell.
Well, we've got
Lyla. What are you laughing at?
We've got the New Avengers. with a Z.
With the Z.
Because there's a copyright.
Because Captain America,
issue.
Sam Wilson, won't play. Like, he's like, you guys,
Yeah,
we're not teaming up. What is that?
He's off screen. He has recruited his own Avengers team, and now there's 2 Avengers teams.
I'm so mad with like everything they do with this Sam Wilson. I'm just like, no, wrong.
Can we get like a
like Bucky
a Marvel short in like October?
Yeah,
like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Can you show us
Sam.
Bucky calling Sam and Sam being like, nah, like
Of Sam recruiting this new team?
Yeah, and this other team.
Yeah, who's on it?
I think we could see it in Doomsday, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
Speaking of the future,
chance.
this alarm goes off. What is it, Andy?
It's a interdimensional spaceship, isn't it?
Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
front and center.
Here they come.
Like, finally an MCU end credit scene that directly ties to the
know
next movie.
is going to go somewhere.
Yes. Beautiful. That Fantastic Four theme in the background. I knew it was coming too because I saw
in the end credits.
I saw it in the end credits. Did you do that too?
Yeah.
That makes 3 people that I know that have done that. I don't read credits ever, but I just saw
very,
it on there.
very short list of music.
Very end
in the movie.
At the very end, it's like
and it was like
Fantastic
Four theme.
And I was like, that's what's about to be in the credits, isn't it?
I didn't even read that.
You got to read the credits, Logan.
There's too many words.
All right.
You got to know who the best boy grip is.
I do read the credits. I just didn't see that one. All right, Lyla, we haven't heard from you. What did you think of the movie?
On a ranking out of 4.
Nice. Out of 4.0?
Yeah.
You got to give it a perfect score.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Perfection.
You loved it.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm with you. Spoiler alert. What'd you love about it?
Florence
Pugh. I'm hearing people say best Black Widow yet.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Why would you even say that so quickly?
It's too soon.
People are like horrible. They just like, they
Too
want to say the
soon.
most, like, it got a reaction out of me even. I was like, oh, but she was really good. The more I thought about it, she was just like, she is on point.
It's her third time in the role.
And she brings like a gravitas to the role.
Yeah.
Kind of like this nonchalant coolness, and she is like a badass. It looks like she's doing a lot. She did that stunt. She jumped. She did that stunt.
Yeah.
The
That was
jumping.
cool. I'm glad that she survived that fall, unlike her sister.
Yeah, if she only knew, like.
But honestly, the best Yelena moment was when she was ninja flying through that lab to save Bob.
Yes. Yeah, jumping through, and I had the goosebumps big time. Like,
I could see the tension between her and Bob.
Yeah.
I think that there's some future there possibly.
like some feelings.
Yeah.
Like a romance.
Yeah.
And we have an announcement. Taps for Team Jakey is back. Sam Zeller, how are you, man? Welcome back.
Better after this news.
This is good news.
This is long time coming. 8 years plus since we've had this event, so this is going to be great.
May 22nd at the Four Hands downtown. Yeah, we got a mutual friend in Four Hands. You guys have been working with him forever. And May 22nd, mark your calendar, 2025, Team Jakey's back.
Yeah, I want to pack the place.
Yeah.
As much as they'll let us.
Hey, it's Logan from Mostly Superheroes, the podcast, here with a very special announcement. Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis hosts their program Charity on Tap, where they support local groups and organizations that need their help. Next up on Charity on Tap at Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis is Team Jakey, End the Stigma. Team Jakey has been ending the stigma in the St. Louis area for over 11 years, helping advocate for mental health resources and support, and partnering up with groups like the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Missouri and Provident Behavioral Health in St. Louis. And it's not just Alamo Drafthouse teaming up. We, of course, have our friends Four Hands Brewing Company helping us out as well. Beginning April 1st at Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis, for every Four Hands citywide American Pale Ale purchased, $1.50 will be donated to Team Jakey to help support their mission to end the stigma. The first 100 patrons will receive a prize pack, a limited edition koozie, and sticker pack, and more. Big thank you to Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis for their generosity with Charity on Tap, and Four Hands Brewing Company for helping out with the cause as well. You can learn more about Team Jakey on Facebook and at mostlysuperheroes.com/Team Jakey. You can also see our event details, mostlysuperheroes.com/events. That's mostlysuperheroes.com/events.
Hi, everyone. I'm interrupting this podcast to talk about another podcast. Hi, I'm Randy Naughton. You know that lady from TV for so many years? Well, I too have a podcast called More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. And when I say interesting, I mean amazing people. What about the Mac Daddy of all sportscasters, Bob Costas? Phyllis from The Office. Phyllis Smith is her name. Alan Hunter, one of the original MTV VJs. We talk to people about medicine, about tech, about travel, you name it. Great conversations. Now, they're, again, not interviews, they're conversations. So you never know where they're going to take us. Make sure when you're done with this podcast, check mine out. It's called More to Say with Randy Naughton, available wherever you stream your podcast.
Hey squad, Logan here. You know what keeps our adventures fueled? The incredible brews from Four Hands Brewing Company. They've been our go-to craft brewery since 2012. Our studio fridge is always stocked with their finest, from Citywide Light to Incarnation to Divided Sky to Chocolate Milk Stout, along with the latest seasonal and small batch releases. Whether you're downtown, Kirkwood, the district in Chesterfield, or passing through St. Louis Lambert Airport, Four Hands has you covered. Grab a cold Citywide. They're a philanthropic brew created to give back to the St. Louis community. Since its launch in 2016, Citywide has raised over $300,000 for local nonprofits. For every case sold, $1 is donated to carefully selected charities. If you're in the mood for something different, check out Four Hands Extended Family 1220 Spirits and Withered Oak. They've got cocktails, seltzers, and non-alcoholic options to quench any thirst. And a special deal for you Mostly Superheroes fans. Mention Mostly Superheroes or the password MOSTLY to your bartender at any Four Hands location and you get your second beer free. Must be 21 years of age to redeem. Again, go to any Four Hands location, mention Mostly Superheroes, password MOSTLY, and get your second beer on us and Four Hands. Limited time promotion. Get it while supplies last. Visit them in person or head over to fourhandsbrewery.com. Follow them at Four Hands Brewing Co. on Instagram and social media. Cheers to great beers and even better times with Four Hands Brewing Company.
You've heard others, but nothing could prepare you for the shameful stupidity that is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Hear Imran.
So if you offend everyone at once, it's a wash. I've covered everybody.
Anthony.
Sorry, I was texting. Say that again.
And Rug Boy.
Yeah, whenever there's a snowstorm, my Slack hole tightens up.
As they talk over one another.
Just exactly the same as
Terminator.
We're talking over each other. It's fine.
Sorry.
Swear.
I had boobies.
And ask you for money.
Just give us the money.
Witness the hubris as they claim to be the world's authority on comic book movies.
Who said?
Never said that. You've never said that.
Who cares? A jock said that.
Comic book, TV, movie reviews, news, and whatever they choose. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
It's campy, silly, goofy fun.
Seriously, people really listen to this.
Jock and Nerd.
Hey superhero fans, it's Logan here from Mostly Superheroes. To celebrate 40 years of Voltron, we've got something truly special for you. The Little People Collector Voltron 40th Anniversary Gold Label Set. This buildable set features the 5 original Defenders: Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hunk, and Princess Allura. Each figure comes with a helmet featuring a metallic finish and clear visors, except for Pidge, who needed room for his glasses. But that's not all. These Space Explorer figures are packaged in individual lions that you can assemble to form the mighty robot Voltron, ready to defend the universe from King Zarkon and his nasty Robeasts. Head to store.voltron.com, linked up in the description of this podcast episode, and snag yours today. You can get 15% off your order by using promo code MOSTLY at checkout. That's store.voltron.com, and remember to use promo code MOSTLY. Logan here from Mostly Superheroes. You'll often find me, Carrie, the Giggler, and Scotty Scoop at one of the most creative, coolest, nerdiest spots in town. We're of course talking about Steve's Hot Dogs in St. Louis. You already know them for their ever creative hot dogs, brats, bowls, cocktails, crossovers, collaborations, their hashtag Feed the People program, live music, and events. You're also eating the official hot dog of St. Louis. Their all-beef hot dogs, cold smoked and grilled to perfection, are legendary in the Lou and beyond. Steve's Hot Dogs at a STL soccer match, a Blues game, Battlehawks game, or one of their many locations throughout St. Louis. You can also order online for delivery or pickup. Visit their website, www.steveshotdogsstl.com. That's www.steveshotdogsstl.com. We got pretty cool ads on this podcast, I'll give us that. However, you might be like me when it comes to certain content, and I just don't want the ads. As little as $1.99 a month, you can get ad-free content from Mostly Superheroes. That's right. Patreon, Apple Podcast, Podbean, all of these channels offer ad-free versions of our episodes coming out early, including the patron pre-show, the show before the show. Open up Patreon, Apple Podcast, or Podbean, or go to mostlysuperheroes.com/support to learn more. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcasts. What other moments from the movie have we not talked about that you want to talk about?
Taskmaster getting her clock punched 3 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, it looks like she finally got the upper hand, and then bullet to the head.
Yeah, and there was apparently another version of the movie where Taskmaster didn't die, and throughout the movie continually forgot that she wasn't supposed to kill one of the other team members, and would just start attacking the team.
Oh, that's like Athena in Eternals.
Yeah,
like just you just get like the mind memory thing.
And I don't know. I guess maybe they thought the cast was just too big.
Yeah, I would have think maybe one more thing, because that's what I was thinking. They did a good job focusing on the characters. They did a good job just keeping it to these guys, doing some quick recaps in the beginning, and then just getting to, the stuff with John Walker and his wife and kid, and
really dark, but giving him a chance to not be like a bad guy like he was in the show.
And exactly. And then you still feel that bad guy stuff, and you're like, well, is he like a bad husband? But then this is where I'll start getting into my take on the film. Is like, that's what they did so well in this movie, I think, was they really leaned into that full Marvel method, which is like tapping into the human side of like your heroes and your villains.
Sure.
So like with this dark psychic thing where he would be like, I can show you your darkest moment and you have to look it in the face. Like that humanized everybody in the movie one by one. You just be like, man, now even for like Valentina, I'm starting to feel empathy. You're like, what was that? Like they showed her flashback of like that she saw like her dad get murdered by the guy that came to be, it was just somebody that said like, you shouldn't have got involved in this business. Your dad's dead. And like, that's probably what triggered her whole career, and
which we don't know. There's a lot.
We don't know.
Yeah,
exactly.
We didn't get to see any Red Guardian.
And like they're making bets. Like we're gonna get more Valentina. We're gonna get. They're the Avengers now.
Yeah.
You mean no Red Hulk?
What's that?
You say Red? Oh,
Red Guardian. We didn't get to see any kind of like darkness for him. We didn't see any for Ghost.
Oh man.
And Bucky was like, I've didn't have anything.
No,
I've got no baggage at all.
No,
for sure.
It was because he said I had a really like good life, so mine was just fine. You know.
Yeah, we know Bucky. We've seen it in all your appearances so far. The only person to show up in all the phases. That's pretty dope.
Let's just hit this. Like, I had goosebumps in this movie. There were a couple times I teared up in this movie, and the first time I really got those goosebumps was when Bucky came in and like found that you could hear the music coming.
Yeah.
And it's like dun, and you're like, what is that? It's like familiar. I don't know if it was like he probably has his own music from over the years, but like they ramped it up, and he definitely had like his own theme song. It seemed like, and those discs came in and hit the car, and I was like, that's like the first thing he ever used, like in the Winter Soldier, was that disc gun and blowing up the cars on Nick Fury, like going after Nick Fury. And I just had the chills. I was like, this is like one of our like heroes, and like he is like very much front and center in the MCU still. He's not, like Steve Rogers is gone. It's like Captain America. We all saw what happened with that. Like I'm like begging for more Bucky. This movie was the answer for that. What about you, Giggler, on Bucky and any other characters that
Bucky? You mean the Terminator?
Yeah.
I mean, when he had that shotgun and he pumped that thing, that was awesome. I thought I was looking at Arnold's
T2
on
for
screen
sure.
right there.
And we all saw it twice. How many, Lyla? How about you? Once. And me and Andy were sitting next to each other, and like it was fun to watch it a second time and hear all of the little Avengers nods and see them and really think about how the Avengers were so front and center, and this like new Avengers team was coming. Like this obviously became the plan. It's like the big A in the party, like from Avengers Tower, like They had they said assemble a few times. The music would hit once in a while, like when they were fighting, and just like you could just hear like those violins, just like from the Avengers soundtrack. And man, I just again, I think this was like in a lot of ways for me, it's like peak Marvel.
Oh,
like it was
for sure.
It was a very modern MCU thing that felt like grounded and real, and then like wonder. Like I had like the goosebumps again when Sentry went up in the sky. Like I felt that, like my stomach drop, you know, where it's like, man, this is cool. This feels real, feels grounded.
Yeah.
You know, like they always say Marvel's like specialty is like 1% off of like the real DNA of the world, and almost like the world you want it to be, even on its darkest day, right? Like even in this dark story, these heroes, like they rose up, they won, all of them coming up and like pushing that big piece of concrete over and like saving the girl. And remember when that little girl just got toasted?
Yeah.
I saved you, little one. And then me and Andy, like, we laughed.
The first time I was shocked.
Yeah, the
but
first time I
second
didn't laugh.
I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was sitting next to Nora, and she was like, bruh. As soon as it happened.
Nora looked over at me, and she just, like, stared at me for, like, a good 30 seconds, just jaw dropped. Like,
yeah.
I will say, though, that when they all came back, it just kind of reminded me too much of people coming back from, like, the snap.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is too alike, but
it was very similar. And I was also, like, feeling for the people of New York again, and like you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's nonstop there.
Nonstop. But like that's Marvel too. Like New York just gets beat up.
That could be on purpose.
Yeah, where was
as
Spider-Man?
a parallel, honestly.
Yeah, no other heroes. Very much kept to this storyline. And new Avengers, Fantastic Four in July. Doomsday
filming now.
Spider-Man Brand New Day and Secret Wars. Right? Anything else in there? Like
there's got to be some more.
There's some TV shows. You know, there's like
Ironheart trailers coming out.
Yep, Wonder Man.
Now.
Yep,
Wonder Man. Yeah, Wonder Man.
All right, before we get off too far off in the future, the moment has come. We've already got a 4.0 out of the gate, out of 4.0 from Lyla. I'm gonna give it my score as well. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.9.
Wow.
Out of 4.0. Yeah, give it up. I'm doing it. Like it might be a 4.0. Like on my third watch, I will know for sure. And I just think they really brought it. And like I've made some statements on this show about rewrites. I really don't have any hard and fast feelings about it. I think that like there's still some stuff happening for reshoots on Fantastic Four, and some movies, you know, maybe they reacting to like what the crowd's happening with is not the worst thing. And the final cut for this is a strong Marvel movie. It's one that you want to put back on, rewatch. It was so easy to go see it a second time, and I got chills and teared up like on multiple parts throughout, just with the heavy personal depression side of things, and then just like the Marvel special feelings type of thing. So I loved it, man. Whoever wants to go first out of you two, Scotty.
All right.
I was about to flip a coin.
Yeah, I was ready.
Or a tech deck over here.
This was really good. I would say probably like maybe top 5 is tough. Top 10, easy. Easily top 10. And what most people are saying is return to form for the MCU. You know, people have been down on it a lot since Endgame, and you know, some of it's valid, some of it's not. But man, this movie was really good. 3.8 for sure. I would have liked a little more Sentry.
Yeah,
you know, just
totally.
like maybe some where he would do some kind of superheroics before he went completely dark.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, and they did a good job just focusing on the next movie. Like I think when all else fails, just like do an end credit scene for the next movie.
Push the next thing.
Don't try to be like funny or something stupid. Yeah. Like don't try to be like, ooh, they want to see Bucky like that first end credit scene. I was like, move on.
Yeah.
Funny, but like fine.
Get to the good stuff.
Fair share, Scotty. Giggler.
Yeah, so this return to form is the right word.
And then we'll hear your first interview ever.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Well, return to form is the right term for this, honestly. I feel like they still haven't missed yet, maybe a little bit here and there, but I love these movies. I always will. And this movie was a like shining example of why. Just with the mix of the comedy, how serious it was. Like I did tear up a few times. The mental health tones that really got me with Team Jakey and everything 100%. I'd say like the details in this movie were just tremendous. Like everything from like the asterisk to how the moment when they were all helping each other go up that shaft, then they were in the shape of an asterisk. That's just little things like that are just awesome. That just like the cherry on top for a movie that's already good. Florence Pugh was awesome, but honestly, my favorite was John Walker and Red Guardian. I laughed every time that either of them. I think I America's asshole was I heard what what John Walker referred to himself as, and that is the amazing play, especially when they're all basically Bobo Avengers clones basically now.
Yeah.
And but one of my favorite things, just the interactivity of it, and I talked about it in my interview with Steve, is just like afterwards now they're doing the copyright on the Avengers logo like on their social media accounts as tie into that end credit scene where Sam is suing the new Avengers for copyright. I'm like, those are the things that we need to do. But what I'm deducting points is they literally are missing they can miss a whole other giant team up movie in the next year of old Avengers versus new Avengers, or some type of something in between here to give us more.
I heard like a Civil War II maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think there's time for that. And then after Secret Wars, are we going to be in any place to where that can even happen? I'm not really sure.
I don't think so.
I think this is just going to be a what if scenario.
We might lose a lot of the current cast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
Did the Russo brothers do Civil War, or who did Civil War? Whoever did though, like you need to bring that team in.
Yeah, I don't think they did,
because it would be like a perfect, like that's what we need is one movie like that where there's like one more team up movie.
I'm all for more all team up movies, and not even any like we don't need a Thor 5 or. I mean, Spider-Man movies are different, but like we don't need all those. Keep giving us more broad team up movies like this, and do not slow play things. Like the more we read comics, the more I'm like, there are so many stories out here. Like, why do they have a movie that?
And the build's always the same. Micro teams.
What are we doing?
It's like micro teams teaming up for the big event, right? Like this is one. And then like another group would kind of be getting together, like in Thor Ragnarok, it was like the Hulk and Loki and Thor.
Sure.
You're like, okay, they're teamed up now. Like,
yeah.
But we need to see like Haley Steinfeld and like Miss Marvel and get the Young Avengers somewhere.
Doctor Strange,
Wong,
like
there's
America Chavez and Scarlet Witch.
Like, how are they going to answer what happened to Doctor Strange ahead of the Secret Wars? But anyway, finish your take.
Know.
This is a good take on the movie.
I can guarantee you that's going to be in the end of Doomsday. I bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I went with a 3.65 out of 4.
Nice.
I thought I was going to be on the higher range, but I was on the lower one than you guys.
I went real high. I guess I only dinged it because of the similar things you guys said. Like, could use a little more Sentry, could used a little bit more, like, I don't know. It's almost perfect, honestly. Because, like, you can't, if they would have done more anywhere else, it may have all fallen apart.
Yeah.
Like,
you never know.
If you would have tried to bring in more characters and tie it in, like, those are things I wanted. Like, I want more answers about things. Like, I would have loved a Sam Wilson appearance. Like, but, like, would that have been too much? Would it have felt like, well, we just saw him.
I think so, yeah. We just saw him.
And we hadn't seen these guys.
Who knows? That might have been a reshoot somewhere. Well, after a negative reaction to Cap 4. Like, maybe we had a scene in here and we cut it. People didn't really seem to love Cap 4.
Yeah, they I can't talk about it enough. They messed that movie up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Anthony Mackie knows it.
That could have been the Avengers movie way more than what it was. Sorry, Old Avengers, New Avengers. I don't want to call them
old Avengers.
Old,
but yeah, you could call it like Avengers 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
they keep giving us those team ups.
Like this movie here was like the Avengers movie. It was like the same storyline. Like it was like a very similar so it was an Avengers movie and it's called The New Avengers now. Like, did they change the name of the movie?
I don't.
Like, on Disney Plus, will it be The New Avengers? Because
I don't think so.
They changed all the marketing.
It'll probably say both, I bet.
I hate this. Is just getting too
weird
It's
a little confusing, and I think they did it way too soon.
But it's cool.
It was 3 days after the movie came out.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about that.
Ticket sales doubled the next week, though. So I think for the dollar signs, that was the right move.
Well, but they could have waited 3 more days.
They could have given it a week.
1 week.
And let the word of mouth do some work.
You give us embargoes on the reviews. They should have embargoes on renaming the movie.
Mm-hmm.
1 week.
To the point where Sebastian Stan was walking on the street and putting up new posters over the old posters that said New Avengers.
The Monday after it came out.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to end with your interview, Andy, with Steve Ewing. Yep, he came out along with one of his partners, Bill, who plays in El Monstero and The Urge. And we want to hear that because you'll be like right in the lobby, and we'll end with this interview. So any final thoughts on Thunderbolts, Lyla?
I liked how they made the Void Bob. Like, to me, at least, he felt actually intimidating. It was, like, unsettling when you looked at him. Like, you knew that's not Bob.
Yeah. It was. It was like he was when he was like
creepy,
like sitting on the table, and you thought it was Bob, and it was just the dark, the void. Good take.
The little pinpoint eyes.
Lyla, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
All right, Scotty. Final thoughts, and this is our final thoughts on Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers. And anything else you want to say about the MCU as we look ahead to Fantastic Four First Steps?
Man, I'm super excited for Fantastic Four.
Me too. The hopes are high.
Yeah. I mean, and seeing this and how good it was really gives me hope.
Man, that trailer for it, that music hitting, they've
Yeah.
really... like
Fantastic Four.
I haven't heard a Marvel theme like that. Like, that is... whew.
They're coming.
We will protect you. Like how you're like, you're going to lose.
Yeah. And the New Avengers will return. And Bob.
And Bob. Anything else, Scotty?
No. I'm good.
You guess you'll let us know about Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You too, Lyla. Final thoughts, Andy.
I can't believe this movie didn't have Thunderbolt Ross in it, just by the name. My buddy...
We didn't even talk about it.
He is a Thunderbolt in the comics.
This is the best stuff always comes at the end. Like,
Hilarious.
we didn't even talk about that. We thought it was about Thunderbolt. It was literally just about
named after a soccer team.
A soccer team. The Chesapeake Bay, sponsored by Shane.
Yeah.
Not Shane. Shane didn't have any money.
So I think two parts to that, because my buddy Dom at the Screen and Social goes, I didn't see the newest Captain America. In this movie's Thunderbolts. I'm going to be confused, aren't I? And I just was like, I can't answer that question. Just watch the movie. Because otherwise, if I said no, he wouldn't believe me. And that's it. It just doesn't make sense. But in the end, it did. I love what they did. It was kind of a misdirect. Everybody's thinking, what's this asterisk? And it was New Avengers, but I still think there's more to it than that. They misdirected us totally on just what that even was going to be about.
Yeah,
and I love that.
And there were lies in the trailers as well. There was there were lines that were not the same. Like whenever John Walker's like, "Is that Bucky?" It's like he actually says, "It's Bucky."
Yeah, he was like, "Bucky."
And then in one of my favorite lines from the movie, both versions, even the trailer version and the movie version, was Valentina. The Avengers are not coming was the trailer line.
Yeah.
And then the movie, it was the Avengers are not walking through that door.
Yeah. Like, why do you change that?
Yeah, it just made it like, I know. It's such...
like, what?
I guess like the trailer was more broad. The second one was more contextual to the courtroom.
Yeah.
But either way, great Marvel lines for all time. Because it really did kind of set the stage that like one thing, I don't know when they could like flip the switch on this movie, because it was always going to be kind of like probably just a suicide. They didn't know what they were going to do probably yet with all the Thunderbolts. But then it became... oh, they can be the New Avengers.
Yeah.
Like we don't have like a lot of Avengers like around right now, and you could feel that. You could feel like a little bit of like you haven't really done anything with Spider-Man or Doctor Strange, or like everybody's just had all their own movies, and like Thor was just in Love and Thunder. Like we're like you better do something, and I think they were like Thunderbolts has to be that something.
Yes. Yeah.
I got a question. Who was the leader of this team?
Florence Pugh.
I would agree. I
Yeah.
wanted to lean towards
everybody
Bucky, but I
is
don't
saying
think so.
Bucky, and I'm like, this was obviously Yelena's team.
I will say they look at Bucky a lot though for everything. They look at him at like, you know, he's an Avenger even with his dark past. Like he was best friends with Steve. They look at him, they ask him what to do. So it's probably like co-captains, even though Red Guardian was like, we could be co-captains.
Yeah.
Well,
he's like,
100
you
years
drive,
old.
I take a break, you drive. He's like, I'm driving. And he goes, well, it's a metaphor. I don't really want to drive. He was great.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
They did a good job holding him back.
Yeah.
And then letting him release.
Yeah.
Like they did it, you know, like they kept him quiet on the scene where they're all tied up and Bucky's got him and he's like really quiet the whole time. And then it's like, you guys want to team up? And it's like he like, keeps real quiet.
Yes.
And I saw they got him at like Disney World now, like an actor that like
yeah.
the kids will love that.
They they had David Harbour show up. and meet the guy who was playing the Red Guardian at Disney World.
Yes, and I
they,
saw that.
They were both like, yes!
That was cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's Thunderbolts, asterisk, the New Avengers.
New Avengers.
And we're counting down to Fantastic Four. There'll be another Screen and Social. A lot of events in between. We got a Two Rivers Comic-Con. If you live in St. Louis or you're traveling to St. Louis May 23rd to 25th, we got a booth there all weekend. I'll be moderating some panels, and we'll be definitely hyping up the next Marvel movie. So, Andy, thank you very much. No, don't.
That was for all of us.
That was nice, actually.
That was for all of us. I want to hit the orange one because that place sounds like Steve Ewing riffing on the guitar.
Well, I'm actually going to play the Steve Ewing. We're going to end with the interview for everybody, so it'll just close out with that. Bye, Scotty Scoop.
See ya.
And see you, Lyla.
Bye.
I'm Logan. Enjoy this interview, and we'll see you next time on Mostly Superheroes. Take it easy. All right, Steve Ewing talking about Thunderbolts, and Bill from The Urge.
And El Monstero.
And El Monstero. We'll go Steve first. Hot take on Thunderbolts.
I thought the movie was great. Didn't know really what to expect going into it. And I had a ball. It was a blast. It was awesome.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's a lot of fun, and the comedy of it is pretty sharp. And actually, I do think like if you want to dig a little deeper, there's a pretty cool message about like not going through things alone and sharing, shared burdens of emotional and physical trauma. I thought it was really actually pretty cool. I loved it.
Yes. Shout out to our mental health advocate sponsors, Team Jakey, because the themes of this movie are
it's totally
right
there, right? Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a thing.
This is my second time seeing it, and I enjoyed it even better than the first, and like it got me, especially the emotional part of it towards the end, just overcoming as a team.
When Yelena is talking to Red Guardian, and they're just out in the street kind of arguing.
Yes.
I thought that was really moving. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I had to use a tissue for a second.
I enjoyed the shit.
That's how you know it's good. Like that's what gets me to these MCU movies. They keep coming.
And I would totally watch more of that. I hope it says they will return in the end credits.
What do we think of? Yeah, let's think of the end credits. That's what I want to hear.
That was like a fist pump.
Yes,
double fist pump when
that's exactly what we needed.
Well, I really liked I was excited about the Fantastic Four trailer too.
Oh yeah, here Roadhouse. Now we can go spoiler territory now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Roadhouse is our secret.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I really
cut this.
We were talking about the kind of retro futuristic kind of '60s vibe of the Fantastic Four trailer, and I was like, well, how are they going to fold this in, and how is it just going to be like a standalone movie and all that jazz? And so
how are they going to fold that?
Well, they're trans-dimensional rifts. Dude. You weren't watching the end.
That's right. I wasn't watching it.
This tells you that this next movie is going to be wild.
It's crazy.
What are they going to be running from? I have a feeling it's going to be what's on the back of Logan's shirt right
there.
That's
Galactus. They're like, I was like, oh, I think it's kind of cool that they didn't show Galactus, and then they're just like giant.
Yeah,
foot.
just a big old foot.
He's here, everybody.
And that got me going.
I dig the Silver Surfer too. I think it's really cool. So I think that was a neat idea, and I think that's going to be fun.
It's going to be good.
I think my only complaint, honestly, is that right now they're missing an opportunity of having a old Avengers versus new Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not time to have that before Doomsday and Secret Wars is in Fantastic Four. That's what's on the slate coming up. I don't know how they're gonna. If you want to see a little Easter egg, you should go to Twitter, the Avengers Twitter account. Now there's a copyright next to it because there was a line that I just caught it in the credit scene where they said that Sam Wilson copyrighted the Avengers name.
That's funny.
And they actually put that on their Twitter account. I was like, this is why I love this damn universe. Keep coming back.
Scarlett Johansson has been very vocal as of late about how dead the Black Widow is. Which to me is the very kind of thing that somebody would say if they were going to make an appearance.
Yes. We're going to see everything. Yeah. We're going to see everything.
Yeah.
I mean, just by that event, like
she's dead.
The chairs. I don't know. Did you guys watch the chairs reveal for Doomsday?
This Saturday? No.
Oh, okay. It was about a month ago.
Oh, no.
They released, it was 15. The world stopped for it.
You're talking about the cast.
The casting
You're talking
chairs,
about the casting
with
the name on the back. Right, okay, gotcha.
My world stopped for that. That was my least productive day. It was like a random Wednesday. Sorry to my boss if you're listening.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's
Roadhouse.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Cut that, Logan. Thank you. It's okay. I'm changing jobs in a couple weeks, anyways. No big deal.
Leave it in.
No F's given. Oh man, but yeah, I just suggest everyone see it a second time because it truly gives you an opportunity to kind of see the breadcrumbs that led to that final scene of them all coming together as one. All right, we're closing it down. Logan, I don't know what you're doing. I'm the host now. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it.
Way to go, Andy. That was your
thanks.
Your first solo interview with Steve Ewing.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
You threw me right to the wolves.
I didn't even warn him. I was like, Carrie's not here. She had a stomach ache. You're running the interview.
Carrie missed out on a good one.
I know.
You need to take her to see it.
We are. We're going to see it this week.
Nice.
I hope she's feeling better.
She is. She's back normal. All right, we're done. You guys gotta go see your movie. Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Carrogan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.